get mine. I gotta get mine. Hey, let me elaborate. Y'all niggas trying fake. I've been out here getting cake. It been a process to get my money straight. I remember them broke days when I ain't thought they could control. I just kept that hammer, homie, nigga, knock out your soul. If you ain't got my money on time, you better cash out. If you do that bad business, homie, don't even give me that. I've been staying out the way cause I ain't doing no dead time. Cause I ain't got time for you, little homie, I'm getting mine. Coolest nigga in the world, but don't try to test me. I won't never lead you astray, that's why the Lord bless me. I need no attention, I just keep the extension. That was me against the world, so I'm feeling like Pop. Chasing all this hundreds like I'm Zeke, but I'm from the block. Monetize the flow, just follow the formula. If you ain't trying to get that bread, then I'm ignoring ya. I'm looking for a way out, cause I'm trying to go global. These niggas ain't on they hustle, they ain't even mobile. These niggas ain't no soldier, that's what a nigga told ya. Elias Cash, nigga ain't nothing free. So you know how it is when you be coming to DC. Hey, ain't nothing free, so I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. I gotta get. Ain't nothing free, so I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. I gotta get.
I'm the realest in the DMV. Let me
Salute, brothers. So, I'm sitting there thinking about something, right? Salute to Mike Reed for this one. This man would chop it up one day, and I mentioned something that I experienced in my childhood, right? And he gave me a whole nother perspective on it. Now, before we jump over some wild shit, I was talking to Mike about like how resilient we are, right, as men. How even when in the most shittiest of circumstances, we can literally take that shit and sell it as fertilizer, or we can shine that shit till it turn gold, right? That's what our forefathers had to do, and that seems to be a trait that was passed down. I mentioned to Mike about when I was young and coming up, how we would stand in my grandfather's house. I remember I got memories of as a kid in the crib type shit over that junk. And as I grew up and I grew older, and excuse me, as I grew into myself, I remember there was this old dude that would come around like every spring, right? And for the sake of just conversation, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna just call him Old Man John, right? Old Man John would pop his ass up promptly around springtime. Old Man John ain't really had no place to stay, for real. From what I can recall, he was an older, so-called black man, and Old Man John would make his way through the neighborhoods, cutting grass and cleaning gutters and, taking care of shit. And for me, I'm still like a young ass kid. It's back in the 80s, Dinobots type shit, Smurfs type shit. How what's old boy's name? Name the past. I don't want to say how we do. What's his name, dog? That's terrible. I can't remember homeboy name. He gone too. Anyway, Care Bears era, and I will see Old Man John making his rounds. Come fall, Old Man John be gone. Don't nobody see him from no more. But come spring, he was there. Now, Old Man John, to me, as a youngin', was old as hell. And I was like, who is this ancient Negro that just shows up at a whim? He can come and go as he pleases. He get his money. Old man John sit down at that building. He drink from that bottle. He chill out. He go to sleep. He wake up and he go service Miss Gladys, and then after that he go service all these old ass broads that either had husbands or most of them didn't, for real. Go to square them away, get his bread, and he chill for the day. Bed down by that old building down there. If I took a picture of that same location right now, you wouldn't believe the way it looks. Well, now in comparison to back then, there used to be a train track running like smack behind the house. Well, old man John was probably old enough to be in the Korean War and then maybe also World War One. Old man John would come get his bread, do what he needed to do from spring until fall, and he did back off. Never asked nobody for a ride. Never asked nobody for a cab or none of that. Old man John was on some straight. Back in the day, they may have called it hobo, but he was hustling. And that man did that up until the day he passed, right? But in me and Mike's conversation, when I brought that up, like, yeah, like some of us out here, we're born to hustle, we're born to make it. I remember it was this old dude, and I ran through the whole list, right, that I just told y'all. And he was like, brother, he was a survivor. Now, see, that's what our elder brother's wisdom comes into play. I hadn't even thought of it like that. I hadn't even considered that part. But I remember old man John's work ethic impressed upon me as a young so-called black man, black child, soon to be black man. Like, this old man out here getting it for real. I wasn't even 9 yet, but I remember that part. There was some poison ivy and poison oak. Now, y'all, if y'all know the difference, one grows out, one grows up. That shit was so thick in the back because the women in the house let it get so out of control. It started out as one plant. One chopped it down, thought she was badass, and she was laid out for like a whole month. Another one tried it, she was laid out for like a whole month. Another one tried to be my mama, she was like, I'm strong, army tough. And she was laid out for like a week and a half. Still itching. Old man John went back that son of a bitch and ripped that shit out with his bare hands, threw that shit on the ground, breaked it all up. And after that, he lit fire to that green shit and threw it in the trash can and kept it burning all night. And chilled out, pitched this little structure up, and went to sleep right beside that motherfucker. I said, this motherfucker's amazing. Like, God damn, this motherfucker's a superhero. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up in the 80s in the DMV, you know, fathers in the house was like a no-go. No-go. Especially for a hyper-feminist like my mother. Old school, bra burning jump. I'm strong and I can do it by myself jump. Oh, 1.0 ass jump. But that poison ivy / poison oak took all them hoes down in the house and they couldn't do it. But as soon as old man John showed up, he ripped all that shit down. You want some gloves? He said, nah, I'm good. Old man John went back that Jones and straight snatched that shit off the gate, some more shit about the ground like it wasn't nothing. This was a pretty fair size gate and backyard, right? Anybody who know anything about them plants, that shit is pervasive as fuck. Once they take root, it's hard to get rid of them shits. You can't leave a piece, because if you do, that shit coming back. And he showed them hoes how to properly dispose of it. Kerosene and some more shit. Now, during me and Mike's conversation, I thought about it. My man was willing to sit beside that burning barrel after his long day's work. No shower, no nothing. I got my money. He made him a quick few hundo. He was good. He went down to the store and in that little dank ass building, which was our little corner store. Bought him some wine. He was feeling fine, done. And I was taught that that's a sign of weakness right there. But at the same time, I was also looking at it with my eyes like, but you, the person, teach me how that's a sign of weakness. One strong enough to rip that shit out with your bare hands. You had on gloves and a long sleeve shirt. As soon as something touched your forehead and you rubbed it, you smeared it all over your face and you was fucked up for like a month. How that work? My man put up bare hands, like straight paws on that shit. Snatched out. Get over here. Get this shit off. I need my money. Now, old man John was probably in his late 50s, 60s, I don't know. But not everybody around there was calling him old man John. It was them young ass bras, being my mother that was calling him old man John. Some of the other bras was calling him Mr. John. So he was a whole traveling hobo. I realize that now. But Mr. John was about his business. He wasn't fucking around. And looking at his resolve, once I compared it, once me and Mike had a conversation, I'm like, that's the resolve of a military man right there. A hard-working, sweat off my brow to a bleed-ass military man right there. Now his ending wasn't very favorable at all, bro. It wasn't. Because much like always, spring come, John came up, he was moving way slower. He wasn't quite as effective as he was before, but he was an older man that obviously had a hard life. And as I was laying all this out for John, right, to Mike, and he said, he probably was the last man standing. It struck me right there. That part right there. Depending on your age, we all have uncles that left and never came back. Or they left, if they came back, they didn't tell the family. It was like, fuck that, we done. It's a reason why, man. It would be a hard transition for a melanated man to see the world come back, and after that, like, nigga, that would be hard. When elsewhere in the world, thank you, sir. Now, in comparison, we all have a suite. We got a suite as fuck. My skills as an electrician, or if you want me to engineer some shit, I can. But boom, yeah, I can do that anywhere in the world. As a plumber, as a carpenter, as an HVAC guy, you can do that anywhere in the world. Especially as a tech guy, you can do that anywhere in the world. Those options weren't available for those men. They had to come home from being great and mighty warriors to lowly niggas. Then when shit, again, I couldn't tell his age, but he was definitely older. I looked up the dates, and it's a possibility this man could have been in the Second World War and the Korean War. His temperament betrayed him. His work ethic betrayed him. Now, these younger bitches in their 20s and 30s, being my mama and her aunts and their folks, would have took that kind of temperament for granted, right? Unless they had been in. My mama and them had been in, but they went in for that goddamn long. I'm pretty sure they saw that Baron and they shit on it nonetheless, man. When Mike Reed was like, yeah, that man was a survivor, he probably was the last man standing. It gave me a brand new perspective on that. How you a whole um how you a whole hobo out here riding the rails, right? Traveling to and fro. Cause back in the day, that's how you were able to go from place to place before people had cars in mass. State to state. Putting in work here, putting in work there, seeing the goddamn states, seeing the world as you know it, or the limited view of it after you've fought in these battles and went to Korea or went to war, or fought in World War II. To come back home and you just a nigga? Why would you want to stay in your hometown? Why would you want to stay and hang around anything that's gonna make you feel less than? There've been plenty of stories of melanated men that came home and was like, nah, I ain't doing it. Fuck that. Then there's some that, boy, there's stories out there that some that did come home was like, yeah, I am doing it. Family car, kids, house, so on and so forth. I don't know that gentleman's whole story, bro. I wish I did, the way I could actually speak more intelligently on it. But when that shit came up, I was like, damn, you got a point, Mike. You got a fucking point. If things were that hard on him that he said fuck everything after coming back, it was like, I'd rather be a hobo riding the rails. Fuck this. It had to be some pretty foul fucking shit. It had to be. You know that group of men that AC was talking about? They came home and everything was gone. Wife was gone, the kids was gone. Took the furniture, the clothes, all that shit that, you know, was provided by black men. And rode out to the ghetto. Well, I did a little bit of research, right? Not extensive. But I typed smooth into Google, when did black women leave the black community? And AI fucking lied to me, bro. I see what Elon was talking about. As cool as can be. It said black women never left the black community. In 1870, some bullshit. In 1914, some bullshit. So I typed in something different. When did black women leave the black community that black men built? One key thing popped up. Do you want to know what was going on with black women in the 1960s? I said, you motherfucker. Ta-da. There it is. For us, it would be a motherfucker being a war vet coming home and the bitch done ran off. And things are much easier. For old man John coming home, being a war vet, and you home, and the bitch run off. I don't know what that. Well, no, I don't want to imagine what that would do to a man's psyche. You can go from being the most productive motherfucker in the world at your job. You on Wall Street trading stocks to broken and you just done. Old man John became a cautionary tale, right? but not the way my folks presented it to me. Because the way they presented it to me, you're like, yeah, don't you ever be like him? And old man John looked at me. He was like, yeah, don't be like me. And he glanced back up at them. But as a kid, I ain't fucking get it, bro. I get this shit now. I get it. He bought in to the bullshit, to the lie. And in the end, it fucked him. And from there, he just never, well, he decided never to return. Fuck it, is what it is. He didn't stop being productive. He just stopped being productive to society in the way society wanted him to be. Old man Johnny had to pay no taxes on the motherfucking on the yard work he did or the roof jobs or none of that. That was all his money. He stopped paying into society because society fucked him over. I said, damn. This motherfucker was like the basic layout of the passport, bro. What happens when you come back and still fuck with a bitch? It fucked my head up. I made that connection talking to Mike. I got quiet. I was like, nigga, you right. I can tell you from the war shit, depending on how many of your folks get clapped up, you start getting survivor's remorse, bro. That don't feel good. It's a whole thing where you like, I should have checked out too. Because you start looking like, why am I here and they ain't? But back then, there wasn't no therapy. It wasn't no, like, yeah, they couldn't even call it what they call it now, no PTSD. They couldn't call it that. It was like, you have the sickness. You know what I'm saying? And you were black, man. You a nigga? You a whole nigga on top of that? And you had the audacity to live and bring your black ass back? VA? What? Not for you. Type timeline. You know what I mean? Then to think how disrespectful my mother and my aunts were that, man, dog. That shit was fucking sickening, but they paid him every time. Every spring. Every fucking spring. Old man John hop up on that train, jump his ass off. Cause that spot northeast wasn't that far from Union Station. They had up there the spot where they had to stop. Right by the house. So for him tearing that motherfucking bullshit off the back of the fence wasn't nothing. Easy access, cause it was a whole hinge gate back there that my grandfather installed. They couldn't ask the women of the house couldn't ask my grandfather to take care of none of that because they were disrespectful, hard-headed ass bitches. Way back then. And he recognized it like, nah, you fix it. Old man John popped up, I can take care of it for you. He pulled his hat off his head. I remember the first day he came up there and the first interaction. Man, you ladies, I can take care of that for you. He had his hat off his head and all that. Real humble. Big, black, like, still muscular for his age. Had the pants with the suspenders on type shit. I don't need much. I just need compensation for my job. And after that, I'm gonna go drink. And he said it just like that. That shit is burning my fucking my subconscious, dog. Whatever I don't finish today, I'll finish tomorrow. I realize something now as a grown man, seeing that shit as a child, fam, he was comfortable with meager circumstances. He was comfortable just having that little bit. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need all that. Us, we ain't never comfortable. Yeah, I know I got a 4-bedroom, but I'm trying to get an 8. Yeah. I know. I finally got a BMW, black man's wish, but I need him. I'm trying to get that BMW though. I don't think we're not made of the same stuff. I think we've gotten way softer. Because times have gotten way easier. Way easier, man. But that's my spill for the night. Y'all thank Mike for that one. Because I've been thinking about this one for a while, man. Shit. From his stature alone, I already know that man was a vet. But for my mother and my aunt to ex-persons, let's just say that, and they were in the military, I believe they recognize it too, but they still took the time to try to belittle that man. But in the end, they couldn't do what the fuck he did. I'm just saying, don't that sound like Keisha like a motherfucker? Ain't that like number one, like one of the number one things they do? The way the story ends is much more fucked up. Old man John finally got the peace he desired. Old man John, he didn't take his ass back. I think he finally hit a point where he gave up, like fuck it, and he stayed up top. That's what we call it when you in that DC, Maryland, and Alexandria, yeah, but not so much Richmond. That's southern. When then you start hitting Philadelphia, New York, and all that, you up top. He came back. I think old man John came back up to expire because he wasn't moving right. He wasn't sounding right. He was like the old warrior that couldn't get into Valhalla. So he chose his own goddamn time. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Coming to these realizations as you age and you get older, your time or your summers become less, and the time you have behind you becomes longer. It's a bit of a motherfucker because the shit you witness, it flies past you as a kid because ain't no men in the house to give you no fucking contacts, man. No contacts, man. Well, old man John would ended up being the last man standing around that burn barrel until he fell asleep and they found his ass expired around that motherfucker. And it wasn't for a lack of paper. It wasn't for a lack of him not having the means he needed to make it back. Hell, he could have hopped on one of them goddamn trains going back south and been straight. But I think he gave up. Fuck it, good enough. Really do. Mm. It's fucked up shit. But I can say this, I know for a fucking fact he ain't had nobody continue to push and inspire him. And after a certain age, you want to be comfortable. He chose to be out there in the wilderness until the wilderness just consumed him. Which, if that was his choice, respect. He died the way he wanted. Well, shit, I said the wrong word. He expired the way he wanted. So it is what it is. But I won't forget that though. To see that old dude out there getting it like it wasn't nothing. That shit was crazy. As a kid, putting all these young bras to shame. My grandfather was like, nah, nigga, I ain't touching that shit. I know what that do. You want it, it's all yours. Here the bread when they had walked away. But I ain't never forgot about Old Man John. Another unsung brother, hero. But I'm pretty sure if you let Keisha tell it, Old Man John was shit. He didn't take care of his kids or nothing. After they moved to Chicago from Ohio and left his ass type shit. But yeah, being down here in the space, everything's just making more sense. Anyway, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm looking down. God damn. At the comments. Yeah, dude, y'all be. Salute, Tevin King. Salute, who? I ain't mad, dog. Salute, Saul. Yo, where the fuck? It be the middle of the night, Slim. I do it in the middle of the night. That be the third shifters, man. Damn, salute, bro. God damn. All the brothers be coming through. Yo, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Another story, another night. I'm trying to tell you, when you come from the DMV, you see so much more shit, but the wild shit becomes so normal to you that it's just like everyday natural. Everyday natural shit, bro. But not to say you forget about it, but you don't prioritize it like that. So yeah. Salute to Mr. John. He was treated like a hobo. Whole time that man was a vet. I can tell. And he didn't receive any kind of help. I can also tell that part. And at the end of the day, the major lesson I took from that, what up, Cortez, was kind of really don't matter what you do, or how good you are, they will always find a flaw. They'll always try to find a chink in the armor, even if you ain't got one, they'll create it over time. But I'm pretty sure Old Man John, as they called him, but I'm gonna call him Mr. John, was one of them vets that got left behind with nothing because the bitch done rolled out. I know more now, so I can pretty much say that with a fair amount of confidence, bro. Yet again, AC was right. AC was fucking right. He was fucking right. But I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. I gotta get up and grind in the morning just like y'all, man. Shit, by the time y'all going in, I'm going out. It's what it is. Y'all brothers be easy. Thank y'all for checking on your boy, showing some love. Much appreciated. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Broken. Cortez. All right, bros. Y'all have a good one.